Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Sarvatra Govindanam Sankirtanam Govinda Govinda Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Namo Namah Sadgurubhyo Sadgurubhyo Namo Namah. Namo Namah Sadgurubhyo Sadgurubhyo Namo Namah. Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Kalaye Sundarakaram Sadaika Priyadarshanam Adhyananashakam Devam Satgurum Muralidharam Murali Mandita Karakamalam Murijana Mohanam Vyatyastapadam Manamadharinam Prema Bhakta Mandala Nitya Kirtitam Shri Premika Vradam Ashrayeham. Sadguru Maharaj Ki Jai. Jnana Vairagya Sampurna Hari Bhakti Parayanan Purvacharyanam Vande Sampradaya Pravartakan. Hare Rameti Krishneti Nama Sankirtanam Sada Lokshemaya Kurvantam Premikam Sadgurum Bhaje. Kalaye Sundarakaram Sadaika Priyadarshanam Adhyananashakam Devam Sadgurum Muralidharam Prahladananda Parashara Pundarika Vyasambarisha Sukha Shaurkavi Bhishmadadhyan Rupmangatarjuna Vasishta Vibhishnadi Punyani Man Parva Bhagavatam Smarani Sriman Seshajunyela Sharanakavasara Sapalokaikanadascha Srinivaso Gatirmama Brahma Rudra Lakshmana Prasannaudhanam Puja Padmavati Prananatha Srinivaso Gatirmama Sharanya Sarvalokanam Shankachakradadaraha Pranatati Haro Vishnu Srinivaso Gatirmama Meghashyamala Rupascha Jagannugala Vigraha Srivatsakausuldaraha Srinivaso Gatirmama Pitambara Padmanetro Govinda Komaladaraha Manamali Vasudeva Srinivaso Gatirmama Vanatkinkini Padascha Kanchi Kankananu Pupushidaha Kalyanaguracharitra Srinivaso Gatirmama Karuna Purnahridayaha Gandharvamara Sevitaha Kotivanmatalavanya Srinivaso Gatirmama Prasadalesha Samrishtaha Bhaktamandal Pujitaha Prakattimarga Sulabha Srinivaso Gatirmama Shri Hare Namaha Shri Hare Namaha Shri Hare Namaha. Sarvatra Govindanam Sankirtanam Govinda Govinda Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. As the name voice of our beloved Sadguru Maharaj, His Holiness Maharanyam Shri Muralidhara Swamiji, with the blessings of Madhuri Sakhi Samhita Premika Varta Thakurji, and with the infinite compassion and grace of our Aishwarya Srinivasa Perumal, this beautiful Vaibhavotsavam. The annual Vaibhavotsavam of our Perumal is happening on a very grand scale. And today we are on the penultimate day, on the 6th day of the Utsavam. We have been enjoying Katha, Nama Sankirtanam, and various other activities as an offering for Perumal. We've been enjoying different sevas, Garuda Seva, Hanumat Seva as well. We've been enjoying Nrityam, Geetam, Vadyam, all of it as well, as an offering to Perumal. Along with it, we are listening to the glories and stories of great Bhagavatas. And when we look at Bhagavatas, we see that their heart is full of bhakti, and that is one great labham, prayojanam in listening in Kathashravanam. When we do the Kathashravanam of Bhagavatas, Puranas, Bhagavatas, Charitram, it helps us recount Bhagavan's grace. When we look at Bhagavan's Charitra, we can look at his Mahima, we can look at his greatness, which is what we need to look at first. That is why Bhagavatam starts with Janmadhyasya. We need to understand Bhagavan's Mahima. Can we understand Bhagavan's Mahima? Muriyat. We need to understand that we cannot understand Bhagavan's Mahim. That is the intent of Janmadhyasya. That is the intent of the Brahma Sutram Janmadhyasya way. That is the intent. Bhagavan Swarupam, the Parabrahma Swarupam, it cannot be understood. That is why Vyasacharya gives us, tries to give us Swarupa Lakshanam for us and says Satyam Param, Abhinyaha Swarat, all of those adjectives to show the Mahimay of the Parabrahma, Perumal. And the Satyam Param Brahma, Param Satyata, because we cannot understand his Mahimay, we realize that. And Bhagavatam, the way Bhagavatam starts, it starts with Satyam Param Dhimahi, isn't it? And it calls, Vyasacharya calls us to meditate on the Supreme Truth. All of us know that. And he tries to give us that Supreme Truth. In trying to do so, he says that I can give you the Supreme Truth not by his Swarupa Lakshana, but by his Takastha Lakshana. He tries to, that is what is the first attempt. In saying Takastha Lakshana, when you look at the third day of the rising moon, the waxing phase of the moon, it is generally considered auspicious to look at the Munamar, third day moon. But it appears as a very thin streak, so it's very hard to look at it spotted in the sky. So when we try and find it out, then they would say, look at there's a nice river there, near to that there's this tree. And close to this tree there are these couple of branches, and the branch in the middle of the park, you can see the streak of our third day moon there. They'll say, that is called Takastha Lakshana, There is no relationship between the moon and the branch there. Absolutely nothing. But you use that as a reference to see, to see something that is hard to see. That is what is said when Vyasacharya says Janmadhyasya, where he says, look at all of the creation of Bhagavan. Look at his entire creation. Then you get a little bit of a sense of how he could be, and the Mahimiti. Right? That is how it starts. And then it goes on to speak about his glory. Srimad Bhagavatam. As we look at Srimad Bhagavatam, it starts with Bhagavan's Mahima. That is how Parikshit asks. When Parikshit has Sri Shukacharya's darshana, he falls at his feet and says, please tell me Bhagavad. He could have stopped there and he could have gotten 10 cantos of Krishna Katha. He didn't do that. Because that is how a Sishya is, and that is how a Guru is. He lets the Sishya talk initially, and then the Guru bends for the Sishya, isn't it? That is what happens. Here Parikshit even puts Shukacharya in a spot, if you will, and says, tell me Bhagavan's Mahimas, tell me Bhagavan's Mahima. Bhagavan actually has lot of Mahimas. He stole butter. He ate mud. Idallam Mahima. Parikshit was very specific. He said, tell me Bhagavan's Mahimas, how he created this entire universe, how he did this Srishti, how he is doing the sthiti of this. How did the entire creation start? Hare Adbhuta Karmana. You understood. Sri Shuka thought in his mind, Namah Parasmai Purushaya Vedase Sadbhavasthana Nirodha Leelaya Mahita Shakti Tritaya Videhina Antarbhavaya Upalakshya Vatmane. That is his first step. That's how he starts. He says, good job with your questioning, Parikshit. Before starting all this, I cannot start it just like that. I have to do my Dhyana Shlokam. Krishna Leela, I can come and talk. Armame, we can start with Krishna Leela like we did a couple of days ago. Enjoy. If I have to start with Mahimai, I have to do my prayers, I have to do my stuti and all that. And Sri Shuka started with the stuti of Bhagavan in 12 verses. Then, Apur Jnanamayan Saumya Yan Mukham Guru Hasavam. He he meditates on Vyasacharya. He does a stuti into Vyasacharya, and then he goes on to talk about the entire Bhagavatam. He goes on to talk about the Leela of how Bhagavan did the entire Srishti of all the Tattvas. And then he says, now, and then he looks at Brahmaji, who's been doing tapas. Tapaha abhinale heat tapana heating earth. Tapas, Brahmaji had an instruction to do the tapas. Brahmaji meditated, did the penance, and Bhagavan showed himself in front of Brahmaji and said, I am your friend, shake and Buddha. He gave his hands, shook his hands, and said, this is, now the shake hands is a way of handing over. It was more a relay where he handed over the creation and said, I have created so all the tattvas. Now the rest of the Srishti is up to you. And then all the 10 types of Srishtis, Sri Shuka talked about. And Sri Shuka talked about, in all of this, Sri Shuka had only the dhyana of Bhagavan. Only the dhyana of Bhagavan. And he kept talking about Bhagavad Dhyana. And where he said the earth was created, that suddenly the earth went into the water because he wanted to speak about Varaha Avataram. He spoke about how Bhagavan descended down as Varaha, how Bhagavan descended down as Kapila. He spoke about all the various avatars of Bhagavan. As he spoke about the Srishti, he wanted to speak about Bhaktas as well. And so he spoke about Dhruva, he spoke about Uttanapada, he spoke about Uttanapada's son Dhruva. He spoke about another avataram who was both Andal and Hari, like our Nachya, who is both right next to Perumal and also his most ardent devotee. Prithu was also like that. He was avataram of Bhagavan himself, as well as the greatest of devotees. Both his faces are being shown by Sri Shuka in the 4th canto. And then he wants to show the greatness of Bhagavatas, not just Bhagavatas, Bhagavata Paramahamsas. So he speaks about all the great Bhagavatas like Priyavrata, Agnidra, and then he speaks about Rishabhavatar. He speaks about Jadavarata, Bharatavatar, Bharata's Charitra. Not one place in Bhagavatam we say Jadavarata, not one place in Bhagavatam says Jadavarata. There is no word called Jadam there. Bhagavatam is full of Chaitanya. We say Jadavarata, but Bharata Charitra is being described in detail, the entire geography is being described in detail. And also detail. Then Sri Shuka talks about compassion of Bhagavan. He speaks about Ajamila Charitra, he speaks about Vritarasura Charitra to show how compassionate Bhagavan is, because that is the heart of Bhagavatam. Compassion of Bhagavan is the heart of Bhagavatam. So he shows whether it is a papi, a sinner like Ajamila, or whether it is great Devendra, they have to follow Bhagavan's feet for his grace. Only with that things will work. So to show that he keeps Ajamila Charitra and Vritarasura Charitra in the same 6th canto, and he shows the greatness of Bhagavan's grace. How it is important to catch hold of Bhagavan's grace to sail on this samsara. He speaks about the greatest of Bhaktas, Prahlada. He speaks about other leelas of Bhagavan, Amrutavatanam. He speaks about the greatest Sharanagati, the one done by Gajendra. He speaks about other avatars, Kurma Avatara, and then Dhanvantari Avatara, Mohini Avatara, Matsya Avatara, all of that he speaks about it, Rama Avatara. And then grand manner he speaks about Krishna Avatara. In about 90 chapters he speaks about Bhagavan's Leelas. In about 29 chapters he speaks about Bhagavan's Upadeshas. And then eventually when it is time, Sri Shuka wraps it up, and Vyasacharya, when he gives the Purana, he has remembered it is Vyasacharya who started with Satyam Param Dhimai. Now he has to end the Purana. How will he end the Purana? Tasmayena vibhasatoya aturo jnana pradhipa pura tadrupena cha naradaya namaye krishnaya tadrupena yogindraya tadapana vibhava pratishatrataya karunyata shuddham vimalam vishokamritam satyam param devi. He ends with Satyam Param Devi. Look at, this is also the same meter. It's also, I think it is Shabdol in Krita. It's the meter. Same meter as Janmadhyasya. But and the ending is the same. This is the maybe the 10th shloka or around the last shlokas in the last chapter of Bhagavad. So he started with Satyam Param Dhimahi, he ends with Satyam Param Dhimahi to say, this is Satyam, this is Bhagavan. Where I have tried to start with the greatness of Mahimaya of Bhagavan, I have showed Bhagavan's Karunyam and Madhuryam also. And he started with Satyam as Swarupa Lakshanam, and then he says, if you look at the sloka, I was pretty quick in chanting it, Yasmayena vibhasito ayamaturo jnana pradipa pura tad rupena cha naradaya mumiye krishnaya tad rupina. That is how he explains this Bhagavatam, this Satyam gave the Satyam himself to Brahmaji, and that Satyam form alone transformed, Rupam transformed. So Rupam remained the same, the Rupam alone transformed. How? It started from Brahma. When Brahmaji gave it to Narada, it got transformed. That Krishna Rupam, Krishnaya Tadrupina only, that Krishna Rupam got transformed as Krishna Katha, Yogindraya Tadatmana. Then Sri Shuka took it, and out of compassion, Yogindraya Tadatmana, Yat Rataya Karunyatate, Vishnu Rataya Tat Bhagavad Rataya Tat Karunyatate. What did our Sri Shuka do, Yogindra Sri Shuka do? He gave it, that Krishna Swarupam and Krishna Rupam also, to Parikshit. And that is exactly the same Satyam that we started off with. Satyam Param Dhimahi. Then what is Bhagavatam coming to show us? Krishna's form. Bhagavan, Krishna. All we need to do is Krishna. That is why Bhagavatam is 10th canto alone is Bhagavatam. When you look at Bhagavatam, it clearly says all the other 9 cantos are for clearing our mind. For what? Preparing our mind. For what? To have Krishna in our hearts. And so Krishna Leela is alone Bhagavatam. Essence of Krishna is alone Bhagavatam. And even in the 10th canto, we see Rasa Krida and Gopika Gita is the center of the 10th canto. Vrindavana Leela is the center. Adhiriyam Gopika Gita is the center, which is Krishna and Krishna Katha. That is what was the Jivan of Gopikas. Right? When we see the 10th canto of Bhagavatam, we see how it starts with Vatsalya Bhavam. And after Bhagavan was born in Gokulam, it starts with Vatsalya Bhavam. It goes into Sakhya Bhavam. And then it goes into Madhurya Bhavam. Our gopis are going to come. When gopis start coming and speaking about Krishna Leela, where it starts is with the Venugita. When gopis come, they start talking about, it explains the beautiful form of Krishna. Varha Pitam Natavara Babu Karnayo Karnikaram Vibratva Satkanaka Kapisham Vaijayanti Chamala Gandran Venuradra Sutaya Purayan Gopa Brindai Brindaranyam Swapadaramanam Pravishat Gita Kirti. The Bhagavan's beautiful, most enchanting form. The way gopis describe it, it's actually all of this is gopis bhava. And it says that gopis had Krishna in their eyes when Krishna was around. When Krishna was not around, they had Krishna in their heart and lips. Through as Krishna Katha, right? Iti Venu Ravam Rajan Sarvabhuta Manoharam. And then even when they talk about Krishna's, it's supposed to be called Venu Geetam. There's barely anything about Venus. It is all about Bhagavatas, how Bhagavatas enjoy it, isn't it? Gopis speak about Akshan, Batam, Balamitam, the Rupam, the form of Bhagavan. It's supposed to be the flute, the beautiful music of his flute, but it starts with Bhagavan's form. It starts with Bhagavan or Krishna and Balarama's form, how they enter into Sri Vrindavanam, and how each of these Bhagavatas, every verse of our Venu Gita is Bhagavatas, isn't it? There are so many Bhagavatas in Vrindavan. When you read Venu Gitam, before we even get into the Gopi Bhavam, we actually salute, we become a Gopi ourselves. Ahameka Gopi Bhagyavati. We become our gopi ourselves. Yeah, we look at all these Bhagavatas. We look at, first the flute is a Bhagavopya Kimacharadayam Kushalam Smavenu. The flute becomes a Bhagavata. Yamuna is a Bhagavata. The deer become Bhagavatas. The animals, all other animals also become Bhagavatas. And then there is one great Bhagavata that the gopis talk about, isn't it? Hantaya madhiravada haridasa varyo yad Rama Krishna charana sparsha pramodaha manam tanoti saha goganayos tayoryate paniya suyavasa kandara kandamulaihi. They speak about this great Bhagavata called Govardhana. The Govardhana mountain as a Bhagavata. Now, is it this Govardhana mountain a Bhagavata? There is a debate apparently. And our Vedagitam says, yes, it is a Bhagavata. Haridasa Vargyo, it's the greatest of Bhagavats. Because why? Because our Balarama and Krishna step on it. You can only step on a Bhagavata. You cannot step on Bhagavan. You can step on a Bhagavata. Haridasa Vargyo yad Rama Krishna charana sparsha pramodaha. And it is not an insentient being, it is full of Chaitanyam, because the moment our Balarama and Krishna step on Govardhana, it is full of happiness, pramodaihi. It becomes horribilated, and those are the trees and other shrubs in Govardhana is the horribulation of our Govardhana Bhagavata. And Bhagavan enjoys to be in Govardhana. Sri Sri Anna. He has written an Ashtakam called Govardhana Ashtakam. The beauty is when it comes to kids going into Padashala, you have to learn the language separately, you have to learn the grammar separately, you have to learn the Vedas separately, you have to learn Jyotisham separately. When it comes to this satsanga, the beauty is you can learn everything through bhakti. If you look at his granthas, you can learn everything. You want to learn Vibhakti, but Vibhakti, you can't learn it without Bhakti when it is in this satsanga. 8 Vibhaktis are 8 shlokas in this ashtakam. Vibhakti na case and we talk about this person, first, second, third Vibhakti and so on. He starts with the first Vibhakti and he ends with the 8th Vibhakti in the 8th shloka. The first slokam, first Vibhakti, Prathama Vibhakti, he says, Sayegeva Sakshat Bhagavan Mukundaha Shilamaya Pradhura Bhojananam Hitayatam Chinmayameva Nityam Bhajami Govardhana Shailarajam. Yayeva Prathama Vibhakti. He says, this, first, it's the subject itself, this is none but Bhagavan himself. Govardhanam is none but Bhagavan himself. It's not even a Bhagavata, it's Bhagavan himself who has come in Shilamaya Pradurabhut Janana. He has come in the form of a mountain to bless all of us in this future. And don't think it is a stone, it is full of Chaitanyam, Chinmayameva Nityam. And then goes to second Vibhakti, Yameva Gopyo Haridasa Varya Vadanti Govinda Padankitatvat Trinala Valaihi Pulakanchitam Tam Bhajami Govardhana Shailarajam Yameva Gopya. That our Govardhana, which is the greatest of Haridasa, who is first Bhagavan and then Haridasa. Yameva Gopyo Haridasa Varyaha Yamina. They cannot consider anything else as Bhagavan. Yare Gopis. So here, Shishya Anna clearly says, Yameva Gopyaha Haridasa Varyam Vadanti Govinda Padankitatvat. The Gopis call this as Haridasa. The Gopis see this as Haridasa because Bhagavan steps into it. Trinala Valaihi Pulakanchitam Tam Bhajami Govardhana Shailarajam. This stuti goes on to speak about the greatness of Govardhana. And this Govardhana mountain ends up being a mother. It is we started it about talking about it as Haridasa, Bhagavan. Now it has become Mother Yashoda itself. How? in the fifth vibhakti, as when this Govardhana becomes the fifth vibhakti, Yasman Mukundasya Manoramasa Pradurvabuva Kila Lakshanadhyaha Murtis Satam Prema Sukha Pradhatri Bhajami Govardhana Shaila Rajam. Yasman Mukundasya Manoramasa. In the fifth vibhakti he says, Bhagavan wanted to take a different form, so he used Govardhana as the mother. This Govardhana gave birth to a different form of Bhagavan, which is so pleasing to all our eyes. Pradhurbhavu akila lakshanadhya murti satam. By merely looking at that form, it will give us bhakti. It will give us enna bhakti now? Prema bhakti. Murti satam prema sukha pradatri bhajami govardhana shaila rajam. That is the form of our Lord Krishna as Srinivasa. And that Srinivasa, by merely looking at his form, we get bhakti. And our Srinivasa Swami came out of Govardhana mountain. He determined to come out of Govardhana mountain. He knew that otherwise this Govardhana mountain every day it is melting down in Krishna Viraham. It is melting down in that Prema Krishna Viraham. And one day if we go, if Bhagavatas go in November, they will not find Govardhana at all. And Bhagavan took the form of Srinivasa. Srinivasa said, don't take any stone from here, all that will happen, right? So, அதனால கோவர்தன மலையோடைய அந்த ஒரு கிருபை என்ன அப்படின்னா, he came down as Srinivasa. Our Gurunatha sings this beautiful, beautiful kirtan. Srinatho Mamanatha Jagannatha Devadideva Rajadiraja Sujana Vinuta Vallabha Sulabha Bhavarasa Prada Bhakti Bhakta Pujita Bhava Brahmadi Suragana Vandita. This Srinivasa is this beautiful form, Archavatara of our Krishna. Our Krishna came down as Srinivasa from Govardhana hills, from the Govardhana mountain, as a Govardhana Giridhari, as Krishna who has his hands up, lifting. And the Rupatra, Srinivasa Swami is there, Srinathji Maharaj is there. How did he come? He showed himself to this great Acharya called Madhavendra Saraswati Swami. From Chaitanya Sampradaya, one of the Acharyas in the Chaitanya Sampradaya is Madhavendra, the sage Madhavendra Saraswati. And to him, in his divine vision, he had the vision of our Srinivasa Swami when he was in the Govardhana hill. And and he had that divine vision, and he started, trying to find where our Sathiamoorthy was. So he started digging Sathiamoorthy. As he was digging on and on slowly, the hands, the finger of our Srinath Maharaj showed up. Slowly as he was digging on and on and on, he could see the beautiful entire hand, arms and hand of our Srinivasa. And days passed by, months passed by, as he was slowly digging, he eventually found this face, the beautiful face of Srinivasa. And the day when he found the face of Srinivasa Swami, Srinath Maharaj, is the day Mahatma Vallabhacharya was born. So, our Vallabhacharya, Vallabhacharya is supposed to be the face or the mukha. Mukha is both mouth and face, right? He is the avatara of the mukha of Bhagavan. So, when Srinivasa Swami's face was revealed to this entire world, our Vallabhacharya was born. He was born in this place called Sambalpur. he was born in a dense forest in the Sambalpur valley to a great Pandit called Lakshmana Bhatta. They were from Andhra Pradesh, Andhra, and he was a great scholar and he was a great Vaidika. His entire family was a great Vaidika, entire lineage was a lineage of Vedic scholars, and they had done so many yajnas, and it was a hearsay in their family that after 100 Soma Yagas, in their family, a great Purusha, Avatara Purusha would be born in their family. Is what it was said. And our Lakshmana Bhatta was from Andhra, but he had moved to Kashi, owing to his pandityam, his knowledge, his scholarliness. He moved to Kashi to teach the Vedas and various different subjects, appointed by the king, by the king down south from Andhra. He went to Kashi, he had settled up there. And that is when his family, in his lineage, he had completed the 100th Somayaga in his lineage. They have been doing Somayagas, and that was the 100th Somayaga that was completed. And as the 100th Somayaga was completed, they were expecting that an Avatara Purusha would be born. And his wife had conceived, and there was this child that was going to be born. At that time, there was a Muslim invasion, and suddenly there was so much ruckus, there was plundering going on. And so everyone wanted to save their lives. They left all their wealth, everything in Kashi, and they started running into this together. And our Lakshmana Bhatta, along with his pregnant wife, ran down south, started running down south from Kashi. And as they came all the way down to Madhya Pradesh, today's Madhya Pradesh, there was this, the Chambal River, as we see it today. There's this valley, Sambalpur, there's a place there. And in the dense forest of Sambalpur is where they were stuck. And that is when she had her labor and the baby was born. In the thick of the forest, the baby was born and they were helpless. They didn't have the basic aid for delivery. They couldn't do anything. And as the baby was born, the baby was still born. There was no movement in the body of the little infant that was born. They felt, we heard it would be a great Bhagavata, a great Parapurusha, a great Mahatma that would be born. But it looks like we are not lucky enough. It may be the truth, but we are not lucky enough to be parents of such a baby. It looks like. So they took the baby. There was a banyan tree. And they put the baby in a little cave or a hole inside the banyan tree. They covered it with leaves, and then they went away to a nearby village to seek some help and all that. Then the nearby village there was some help. They were resting for the night, and overnight our Lakshmana Bhatta had a dream where a Paramapurusha, where Bhagavan appeared in his dream in a beautiful form, and he said, Mamai Vamshena Sanjatam Sishumanaya Sampratam Jivantam Viharantancha Shami Vrikshasya Kotare Ma Vishada Mahabuddhe Tava Putro Jagadguru Samsarata Pasantaptam Palayishyanti Vai Jagat. This little child that you thought was dead is not dead. He's a great Mahapurusha. It is true that he is a Mahapurusha. He is still there in the same tree, the cavity of the tree there where you had placed it. So go and find it. This is what this in the dream he saw. He was excited. Our Lakshmana Bhatta came running down. He came down to the same place where he had left the child the next morning, and the leaves had flown away, and there's this little child who was sitting up, who was wide awake. And there was fire all around, and there was a snake protecting this child. Tachutva maduram vakyam Lakshmanaryo manam tataha dadarsha putram jivantam parito vanhimandale. Immediately he went and grabbed this child, and as he was coming, he was chanting Bhagavad Gita as he was coming. And he was in the place where he was chanting Aham Aishwarya Bhutva, And At that time, the snake went away and he was able to get the baby. He named the baby Vaishwanara. Because Vaishwanara means fire, Agni. And for them, Agni is their deity, isn't it? They do Agni Upasana. And Agni is the deity for the Mukha, the Mukha of Bhagavan. So Bhagavan's Mukha Avatara is our Vallabhacharya, who is this Vaishwanara. And they took the baby home, and our Vallabhacharya, they called him Vallabha, or Haputa. And our little child very happily grew in the house of Lakshmana Bhatta. As the little child grew, he learned all the Shastras, he learned all the Vedas, Shastras and so on. And then he went down south, he went across the country doing a yatra, entire Bharat Pradakshina. As he went down south, he came to Andhra. He came to the same Andhra Pradesh. He was adept in Srimad Bhagavatam. He learned Srimad Bhagavatam, and he was so adept in Bhagavatam. Every place he went, he would do Saptaham, Parayanam and Pravachanam of Bhagavatam. All the scholars were so stunned and surprised by the knowledge and prabhavam of our Sri Vallabha. And then when he came to Andhra, he came to the same village which was his native. And everyone was so stunned by his prabhava, and that is when he introduced himself and said, I am actually Lakshmana Bhatta's own son. Lakshmana Bhatta, who went away from here to Kashi, I am his son. Then they were so happy that, there's someone from Lakshmana Bhatta's family that has come here. And they said, he has a lot of wealth, he has a lot of his assets and wealth and all of that left here. And we are so glad that there's some rightful owner to come and claim all of that here. Vallabhacharya said, thank you, but no thanks. He said, what is there in all this wealth? What is there in all of this? I don't want any of this. They felt very sorry for it and said, okay, what do you need? Our Vallabha said, there is a beautiful form of little Lord Krishna that my dad used to do a puja of. He was called Namanita Priya. Can you give me that Krishna alone and take him? So he happily carried our Krishna and continued his visit. As he went around, he went around the country, and in the next place he visited was Pandharipur Kshetra. Srimad Bhagavate Naiva Krishna Bhaktim Pracharayan Uttame Bharate Deshe Pratigramam Chachara Kadachit Pandari Kshetram Agato Bhakta Sattamaha Chandrabhaga Jale Snatva Pundarikam Dadarshyasaha. He had darshan of our Panduranga there, a beautiful form. Kalam Bodhara Nirancha Kamaniya Suvigraham Karunya Rasa Sampurnam Katinyastakaram Bhujam Gita Kaushe Yavasanam Prasanna Vadanam Bhujam Rukmini Ramanam Devam Bhaktanugrahagataram. He had the beautiful darshan of our Pandarinatha there. And then he had a Saptaham there as well. And then he was such a Virakta, so dispassionate, that he would lay right there in the temple as, he just had a bag with his clothes, just one cloth that he would change. He had his Bhagavatam, that is all he had. And he kept that on as a pillow, and he would sleep in the temple itself. Our Divine Mother, Rakumai Devi, looked at Panduranga and said, look at our child. Our most favorite child is now sleeping like a beggar here. Shouldn't we do something to him? Shouldn't we settle him up? Panduranga said, yes, I will do that. He said, he came to our Vallabhacharya in his dreams and said, you get married. Vallabhacharya, he was such a Vairagya, such a Virakta. He said, he didn't tell a second word. He said, okay. If that is Bhagavan's wish, that is what I will do. Bhagavan said, I myself will be born to you. He said, I will be born to you. What else did he want? Right? Our Vallabhacharya said, it is Bhagavan Icha. The Madri, another Mahatma that did this was Ekanatha Swami. He took Ekanatha Swami also by the instruction of his Guru, Janardana Swami. wanted him to be in family life. So he had been married. What is that? Because Bhagavatam says it is not about what you're wearing and how your family is. It's all in your heart, right? Bhagavatam shloka Srimad Charanarvindam Makarandasya Aveshita Chetasam. Bhagavatam speaks about how what is a renunciate life. A renunciate life is in the heart. It is not in the clothes we wear. It is not in the samsara that we the family life that we lead. So if the Gurunatha wants me to take a family life, I will do it. So our Vallabhacharya was waiting next day morning. An elderly man came and said, yesterday Bhagavan came in my dreams and said, offer your daughter to this person who will be sitting in the temple. So I have come here. And he introduced himself. Vallabhacharya said, yes, I know. Just like Bhagavatam, where the man who comes with his daughter. Adhe Madri, Vallabhacharya came, he got married. This was a beautiful girl called Lakshmi. Kautumba Kavihi Kautumbaka Viraktasya Mama Bhaktasya Dhimataha Garhyasta Dharmama Acharanad Bhavabandona Sambhavet. Bhagavan did give that promise. Just because you are getting married, you will not get into this family life and go into samsara. You will always be my Bhakta, and you are born to actually do my kankarya, my work. So you will go ahead and do that. He was extremely happy, and the wedding was performed, and Bhagavan had also instructed. Tasmat Svikuru Viprenda Prapta Kanyam Samagatam Vasatvam Yamuna Tire Thaya Garhyasthamacharan. He also said, you go to Yamuna, banks of Yamuna, to Gokulam and do your kankaryam there. And I will be born to you. Our Vallabhacharya was extremely happy. He moved to Gokulam. He moved to the banks of Yamuna River to Gokulam. And there he had, now that bhakti was more and more became prema bhakti. He had this love for Krishna as a dad himself. That kind of a vatsalya bhava bhakti is what he had. And Bhagavatam was throughout his blood. And he knew that the entire essence of all the Shastras was Srimad Bhagavatam. Shastreshu paramam sreshtam Srimad Bhagavatam smaran Vyakyam chakara tasyapi Bhakta Tattva Prakashini. To show the beauty of Bhagavatam, he did a beautiful exposition of Srimad Bhagavatam. It is called Subodhini. And this Subodhini is one that our Srinatha enjoys. Sri Shyamna in his Srinatha Ashtakam says, Subodhini Bhavarasamritagnehi Saptaha Yagne Sujanai Sukhena Samshravitam Sadgunaratna Sindhum Srinatha Devam Sharanam Prapadye. Those who are adept in Subodhini and know the rasam of Bhagavatam is who are your devotees. That's what the shloka says. So our Vallabhacharya wrote this beautiful exposition of Bhagavatam called Subodhini. Subodhini is, interestingly, he doesn't look at the entire Bhagavatam and write commentary on it. Sridhara Swami's commentary. Sridhara Swami's commentary is one of the first commentaries of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is most authentic. All other commentaries are based on Sridhara Swami's commentary. And it is called Bhavartha Deepika. And Subodhini is also based on the basic premise of Sridhara Swami's commentary. All other sampradayas come out of Sridhara Swami's commentary only, Bhavartha Deepika. And Subodhini, unlike Bhavartha Deepika, Subodhini, which is our Vallabhacharya's commentary, is a commentary on specific sections of Bhagavatam. He has not gone through the entire Bhagavatam. And that's why we said 10th canto is the essence of Bhagavatam. He has taken the 10th canto and expounded it in detail. If you read Subodhini, you will fall in love with Krishna 100 times more than as reading Bhagavatam, because that is how he has expounded Krishna Leela. You take each of these verses and expound. If you take Yajnapati Udharanamna, how Rasamar Subodhini Vyakyan. And every chapter of his, every shloka, you will have different ways of looking at it. from a pushti perspective, from Bhagavan's compassion perspective. And the Madri, he took 10th canto and expounded it. He took a little bit of the 11th canto, expounded it. He took Dhritarashtra Chatushloki alone, expounded it. He took a little bit of the first canto to understand the basis of Bhagavad, expounded that. This is what Subodhini is. And he gave that to all of us. And then he knew that his pradhana, primary work was Srinathji, who had just shown up in Govardhana hill, on Govardhana hill. And Madhavendra Saraswati, who was performing puja to our Srinathji, his time had come, and in his lineage was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never visited Vrindavan yet. So our Vallabhacharya was there, and he was requested to take care of Srinathji. Vallabhacharya happily agreed. Girindra Shikare Divyam Nirmame Mandiram Shubham Srinatham Tatra Samsthapya Chakaracha Mahotsavam Tad Bhakti Vashamapanno Govardhanadaro Hari Provacha Bhakti Tattvajnyaha Tasmai Sakshat Upagataha. He built a temple for Srinatha Swami, and he established Puja Vidhi in Srinatha. And the Puja Vidhi is so beautiful. So the way Puja happens for Srinatha, it's the most delectable, Now we read in Bhagavatam how Bhagavan wakes up, how Bhagavan does his oru naal eppadi irukum appadina beautifully explained. Morning, our Yashoda Maya wakes up early in the morning, and early in the morning, around 7:30, 8 o'clock, she wakes up our Krishna. Pratar Gopa Purishwara Pranayini Dhattam Gritaplavitam Mudganam Dhatishupa Laddukayutam Hayyangavinam Tata Vakrabjam Vikachaya Sangavalayan Shinmancha Divyam Katam Bhumte Yat Kapivaya Sai Parivritam Balam Tamalokaye. Anna, Yendura, Katha, Hydra, Uttishta, Kartavya, Anna, Yendra, wake up, Abhingra. He's not even opening his eyes. Upon the Yashoda Maya calls, Yendra, time Hydra. Bed coffee over there. Bed coffee in here. Yashoda Maya is bringing a plate, and look at the bhavam here. And the plate is full of ghee. Ghee is like a river or a lake. Nadula, there is a boat called Pongala. Dattam Grita Plavitam Mudghanam Kundra. Bhagavan, he wakes up. Then, morning, there is some curd yogurt. But yogurt, Dhadisu Paladdukayutam Hayyangavinam Tata Tanya Vennai Varudhu. Ellam ondone Bhagavan slowly Vakrabjam Vikachaya Sangavalayan. He won't eat, it seems. Amma, last night he asked, Amma, Katha solle. He's continuing, Amma, Katha solle. I will eat the breakfast. Srinvancha Divyam Katam. Amma starts telling stories, and our little Krishna starts eating. As he starts eating, there is a monkey right there. There is a crow to catch that. Balam Tamalokaye. This is called a Mangala. This is the first yama. This is the first yama of our Krishna. When you wake him up in the morning with breakfast, laddu and milk and butter, that is what is done to our Srinathji. I'm going to talk about all the 8 yamas. This is what is done to our Srinathji. First yama is Mangala. Right? And our Srinathji has a specific dress code. Katha morning, pajamas. That's fun, okay? It's not actually pajamas, but Bhagavan has a beautiful vastram. He has beautiful kirtans of Yashoda Maya to wake him up. And then, Next yama is when Bhagavan is going to get ready to go and herd his cows, right? Barhalankritamouli bhushanalasath sakuntalam palake kasturi tilakaanchitam karakatilasat bahunja shonadharam kausheyambara bhushitam karalasat venum katsarojekshanam nrityantam maninopuranchitapadam vandamahe sundaram. The first darshan, after the first darshan, they close the Sanati. Mudichittu. Then Bhagavan's decoration starts. When to go and graze these cows, right, he has to get decorated. First, they look at the weather. In weather, this is going to be warm, cold. Depending on that, they choose the garment it suits. In Kuncha, it is going to be cold, thicker garment. Kuncha, Rajai, overcoat, if it's peak summer, they thin muslin gilla. And the Madri, they choose his vastram, they choose his ornaments according to the mood of the day. And no matter what the mood is, they will have his mahipili. Barhalankritamouli bhushanalasath sakuntalam palake, beautiful kasturi tilakam. And all these ornaments are done. Call the Chilanga Katiurua. Ena Nrityantam Manipura Chitapadam Vanda Mahe Sundaram. When they open the screen, another Kirtan, that is the Darshan, Shringara Darshan. Second Yama. And then Bhagavan goes to herd his cows. Or he takes all his cows, he has lakhs and lakhs of cows, Bhagavatam says. He takes all of his cows along with his other gopas and goes to herd the cows. Nana kedi samakulam sahabalam mitralisam lalitam shrantam yamunatirakam sushayane vishrantam atyadarat dattam mitraganai nipiya maduram sannadi keramritam sadya kedi samutyatam rajavidvidum Govindamalokaye. Bhagavan does all the leelas. He plays with his friends. Koncha viradanu tired agada. Appo koncha nera straight klada. Then Gopa goes. Vrindavan chete thenam theriyala. Here, he cuts down a few tender coconuts, and then he shamaka manundenda. But tired Krishna happily takes a brief, small nap, small rest, and he drinks Dattam Mitra Ganair Nipiya Maduram Sannadi Keramritam. They all won't play it since. Wall, this is the avasaram, this is the form, the yam where Bhagavan herds his cows. After all this play is done, Bhagavan starts feeling hungry. Inge vera pakrana. Ela Brahmala vanda achana. Brahma vandala, it has to be Vallabhacharya, right? Another Nana Shaka Samanvidaihi Bahuvidaihi Subhyanjanaihi Shantitam Dhadyanam Karasum Sampute Padatati Vritmanguli Parvasho Vinyasya Kilamitra Sahitam Punjanam Sustitam Vande Nandasutam Pitamahanutam Sharvati Devai with Brahma and all the other devas looking, Bhagavan does Vallabhacharya with all different kinds of food. That is the Raj Bhog, the fourth yama of Bhagavan, of our puja. And again, the separate decoration for Srinathji, separate vastram, separate kirtan, everything. And there is different Bhagavatas that do kirtans, different kavis. It is called Ashtachap. There are 8 great devotees or disciples of Vallabhacharya who do the different kirtans for each of these yamas. So after the bhog is done, then Krishna grazes the cows a little bit. Then he goes to a little bit of a nap. They put the screen and he goes to a nap. And then when he wakes up, Gopi Vrindakala Visesha Rasikam Gopangana Kunje Pallavatalpite Sushayane Suktam Priyalinkitam Shite Chandakare Priya Karatalena Utthapitam Saspriham Pita Swadubalasavam Natavaram Sanandamalokaye. He is woken up from sleep and now it is called Uthapan. That is the Yama. This is the Yama. Where he wakes up and now he relaxes and all of that. Now there is somewhat like the gopis all come. Gopi Vrindakala Visesha Rasikam. All of them come and he starts playing with the gopis. And now Swami Nara Devi comes. She has gone to the garden, plucked the best of the fruits, gotten super fruit juice on. Shite Chandakre Kare Priya Karatalena Uthapisam Saspriham. Bhagavan wants his energy drink, he gets a fruit juice. Pita Swadu Palasavam Natavaram Gosananda Malokai. That is a avasaram of Srinath Ji after he wakes up to Uthapan. And then more and more cow herding. It's evening time. Go back to home. Sayam Divyavanadu Pagatamam Godulidu Sradakam Gogopi Ganapi Yamana Madhurasmeranam Madhavam Samsnapyata Vibhushitam Swajanani Dattancha Bhakshyadikam Srigrinhantam Atavritam Rajavadu Brindair Muda Bhavaye. Evening time is return time, Sandhya time, right? The Sandhya is the avasaram here. Sandhya is the Yama. And Krishna comes along with all his cows, his friends. He comes back to Gokulam. Gokulam, all the gopis are waiting on both sides of the street to have a glimpse of Bhagavan. And he has a message and a gift and a glance for every gopi. For every gopi, he would look at them in a different way. Each gopi will get the message of Krishna. And over gopi, he would pick flowers and leaves and other things for every gopi that she is asked for. He'll go back. As he goes back, at home, mother will be waiting. Our Yashoda looks at Krishna and says, Krishna, it's very difficult to herd these cows. And then she will bathe her. She doesn't know all the fruit juice and all he's had. And then she will give milk and all those bhakshanams. Samsnapyata vibhushitancha swajanani dattamcha bhakshyadikam Srigrinhatam Adavatam Prajavaduhu Brindair Mudha Bhavaye. Then this is the sixth yama, seventh yama, which is the Shayana. At night, he is given sumptuous food. This is called a bhog. In the night dinner. And night dinner is very, very special. He always has dinner with his family. Ratrau Nanda Balantara Stitamam Savarna Patre Stitam Kshiranam Sita Shakara Dimaduran Chailadi Sambasitam. Nanda Baba and Balarama will be sitting. Nadu Pandit, our Krishna will come and sit, it seems. Our Taka, a golden plate is put, and other Madama has made palsam, milk rice, with the nice yela, elaichi, and cardamom, and all those special spices, with kumkumam, special milk rice, palsam. And our Bhagavan takes it. Yachantam maduram pradehi jananiti Atyanta ashtantamatyadarate gopalam ghananila sundaram aho pashyami trishyami cha. That avasaram that we get, which is Shravana Arati, where we put Bhagavan to sleep. And that is the seventh yama. And then there is one more yama. Bhagavan Tuko Purdile. Amunika Tuko. After everyone sleeps, Bhagavan will escape. Alindi Pulineshu Rasa Natane Gopi Sahasravrutam Prema Linganadolam Adbhuta Mahanilam Ghanashyamalam Radha Padmakara Swagam Pibantam Paya Ratrau Manmatamohanam Vitavaram Radhapatim Bhavaye. Ratri, he does Rasalila every day. Rasalila is a Nitya Lila. Radha gives him special milk which Bhagavan takes. Ashtayama Seva to our Srinivasa. And everything is so grand. If you go to Srinivasa, you will see what is the meaning of grand. It is in gold vessels that cooking is done. Different things come from different places. Pan, that is betel leaves, come from Kumbakonam all the way. The saffron leaves come from Kashmir every day. And there is a big well full of ghee, ghee with which different sweets are made every day. That is how Srinathji is living there in his Haveli. It is called Haveli. Haveli means a palace, right? The temple is called Haveli, and how Bhagavan is being treated there with all these yamas of seva is all of Vallabhacharya's power. With all these bhavas of Vallabhacharya, thus this, he's established this kind of a puja vidhana for Srinathji. He treats him as the king, and every day the bhavam with which the kirtans are sung and all that is amazing. And look at Vallabhacharya's bhakti. Bhakti is always in humility, right? In his one of his shlokas, he says, hi karan pratipashumane kurvati sada namadbrahme shendra prabratishu cha maunam dhritavati mrigakshi bihi swakshi navakuvalayai architapade ratir pradurbhavo bhavatu satatam shri paribide. He sees this, that from the Swargaloka, from the other worlds, Brahmaji has come, Rudra or Parameshwara has come, all the Devas, Indra and all other Devas, everyone is coming. Each one thought they will have a little bit of time with our Krishna. But all of them, I'm going to Bhuloka, Krishna, all the Devas have started coming. Our Krishna is actually herding all the cows and calves. All of them are coming, have come at the entrance, waiting to get an appointment with Krishna. Krishna Pata, you want to know, we pay some there's a cow up there. He's calling that cow. And then there's a calf. He's going and calling that calf. We have come here, he's not come. He's not even speaking a word to us. Look at those cows and calves. Hi karan prati pashuvane kurvati sada namad brahme shendra pravati vicha maunam dhritavati. For us all it is only maunam. For them he's making all these noises. We have come with loads and loads of flowers to offer at his feet. He's not taking any of it. Look at these gopis that are offering flowers through their glance. Bhagavan is not able to move away from that. When will I get that? When will I start getting that bhakti to the Krishna? Rati pradur bhavo bhavatu sadatam shri parivride. Vallabhacharya, that's one of his shlokas. Appadi he establishes a marga called Pushti Marga, where he says it is only through the grace of Bhagavan that this entire world runs. That is what we need to catch hold of. And his avatar karyam has been so grand. Every temple in the north, just like in the south, we have seen the renovation of temples and our Samanta Ramadas, Shivaji and all of that. In the north, many of these temples renovated and re-established thanks to Vallabhacharya. Many of the temples today in the Rajasthan belt, in the Gujarat belt and all of it have been re-established and put back into Sri Vallabha Sampradaya. Dwarkanath temple, the Gokulanatha temple, the Shankodharam temple in Shankodharam in Gujarat, all of this have been established by him, re-established. That is Avatar Karyam. Did he not have that bhavam? He had that bhavam, that love also for Krishna. At the same time, we sang that verse today. So beautiful. When we see that Adharam Madhuram, Vadanam Madhuram, Naidam Madhuram, Hasidam Madhuram, he looks at our Krishna in a pretty Madhura Srupamaya Pakara. his heart full of love is evident in various other charitras. We have time to see that. Appadi, that was his life, and he had two sons, Gokulanatha and Vittalanatha, because Lord Vittala himself said that he'll come and be born to him. He named his son Vittalanatha, who ended up being taking his sampradaya forward, and he showed the way, how to do bhakti. He took up the Srinath temple also, and he had various different followers too, and he everywhere. Today, if you go and see, there's Bhagavatam. There is not a place in the whole of India where he has not done Bhagavatam Saptahams. If you go and see in any kshetra, you go to Srirangam, you go to Rameshwaram, you go to any kshetra, even the far south or far east, you will see Vallabhacharya. It's a place called Vaitak. Vaitak, that's a place where Vallabhacharya had come and done Saptaha. Today you have Vaitaks, they do Bhagavata Parayana in these places. Srirangam, I went to a Vaitak there. I went to a place there. That is how he had spread Bhagavad Dharma, he had spread the greatness of Bhagavata. Even today there is Vaitaks everywhere. Bhagavatam was his light breath. And he established he had a set of 8 devotees, primarily 4 devotees, Suradas, Krishnadas, Kumbhadas and Paramanandadas. There is 4 devotees. And then there were 4 other devotees of his son, Vittalanatha, who were the prime people that that did all the upacharas for Srinathji. Govindadasa, Nandadasa, Chaturbhujadasa and Sridhar Swami were the 4 other devotees of Vittalanatha. All these 8 people are called Ashtadasas, 8 dasas, Ashtachap or 8 kavis, 8 poets who sang to our Srinathji in various different powers. Of all the 4 sampradayas, Chaitanya Sampradaya, Nimbarka Sampradaya, Dinadevamsha Sampradaya, and Vallabha Sampradaya, these are the 4 Vrindavana Sampradayas. This Vallabha Sampradaya, many other temples, even though the temples in Vrindavan run on Chaitanya Sampradaya, Radha Vallabha temple and so on. You see all the temples in Vrindavan, they run on Chaitanya Sampradaya. All the temples on the west, all are on Vallabha Sampradaya. And our Srinathji also had to move from Vrindavana all the way to this place called Namadwaar, where he is established because thanks to the Muslim invasion, he had to move out. And this temple in Namadwaar is where he resides currently. And when we do the Dwarka Yatra and all, we can see we can have his beautiful darshan. And as he has also done, just like we have Yamunashtakam, right? Our Adishankara has done this beautiful Yamunashtakam where he says, Muralidhara Kalima Lalama Vadidharini Trinitapa Triloka Shoka Dharini Manonukula Kuluta Kuncha Durmada Dunotuno Manomalam Kadinda Nandini Sada. He says, he looks at Kalivi, Yamuna river and says, why are you so black? Oh, because our Krishna has come and bathed into you, the dark Krishna has come and his blackness has all come to you. That's his bhava. When Aishwarya starts Yamunashtakam, and we saw the Rasams on the first day. And then Anna's Yamunashtakam is another beautiful piece where he starts with how Yamuna river is glittering with various different gems, various different flowers and all, and how it quenches the thirst of all the Bhagavatas, all the Gopas and Gopis, and so on and so forth. Vaibhavotsavam, Praharshayukta Bhanu Gopanandini, Sameta Gopa Sundari Manogya Gita Saikatam, Vidatta Gokulesh Sunukam Kedivartini, Bhaje Kadinda Nandini. How Bhagavan does Vaibhavotsavam, the boat Utsavam in Yamuna River. Bhavama David Adamadi, or Vallabhacharya has written his own Yamunashtakam, which is also a very beautiful Yamunashtakam. And when his end was near, he lived in Prayaga, the Sangamam of Ganga and Yamuna, Prayaga, that was where his ashram was. He was on the banks of the Prayaga for 7 days. He was in Mauna, he was in complete Mauna, after which Mauna Saptaham, after which he opened his eyes, he called his 2 sons close to him and said, and gave them a grantha on Srinathji Seva. And then he started Vama Bhava Krita Vama Kapolo. He started chanting the Yugala Geetam, Gopika Yugala Geetam, and then he went into the waters of the Ganges and he disappeared there. After that was our Vallabhacharya and his disciples. It wouldn't be fair on our part if we don't remember his disciples. We'll take a few minutes and look at the greatness of his disciples. The first disciple we see is Suradas. All of us know the story of Suradas. Sursagar is one kavya, one word that no one can miss. And Suradas was a blind person, right from his childhood. He was such a bhakta, he had an ekatara. Govindam suswaram dayan shakara yamunavane akincharanam dhinanam krishnanam parandanam ekado pasha vishan kunje kvachit Sri Yamunavane Ranayan Ekatantri cha Sri Krishnam Maduram Jagao. This Ekatara, he would keep chanting. He would beautifully sing Krishna, sing beautiful kirtans. He was a little boy, and he was there was nothing that was keeping. He had no home. He was an orphan for all practical purposes, and he was blind too. And he ended up being called as a portal of fortunes and so on and so forth. Someone came and asked where our horse went, and he said, follow this particular bird, it will lead you to the horse. It actually happened that way, and he would have become a very famous astrologer. But he shunned everything. He went and hid himself in the forests. And Vallabhacharya saw him. Vallabhacharya got hold of him, and he put him in the service of our Srinaji. And he had so much of divine experiences. Our Radha Devi and Krishna once came to our Vallabhacharya. They were playing, and Vallabhacharya was doing his kirtan beautifully. And Radha Devi asked, who's this? Who's this guy? Bhagavan said, don't go near him. Ayam varmi mahashuro gayako rasikastata mahachata samipam sundari pranavulabhe. Bhagavan said to Radha Devi, he's a very dangerous person, don't go near him. Radha Devi said, he's andoyam janmananata. I want to go and see what he's playing. He's after all a blind person. What will he do? How did the laugh Suras could hear? He was hearing all this. He was beautifully singing his Krishna Kirtan. And Radha Devi slowly came. She touched the Ekatara of Suras. But the Suras got out of the saree. Then Radha Devi, Vidindra, Mama Vastrachalam Nata Grihitam Brahmacharya Pashyantaticha Maurya Tishtasitvam Kimankrata. She calls Krishna and says, Krishna, how dare you stand like this? He's catching hold of my saree and you're not helping him. I told you not to go to him, right? Then Vallabhacharya, our Suras, folds his hands and says, Alam parikshaya deva jane twam nandanandanam darshanam dehi me shigram andasya taruna. They give me your darshan, Bhagavan. The way I come over, give me your darshan. Both he gets Radha Krishna Yugala darshan. And Bhagavan is ready to give him back his sight. He says, I don't want back his sight. I've had your darshan. Little man, I don't want your sight. And I have the greatest bhagyam of being in Kainkariam of Srinathji under the auspices of Sri Vallabhacharya. That is enough. And every day he would do the Shrinkara Leela for Bhagavan. For Srinathji, he would sing the kirtans for the Shrinkara Leela of Srinathji, where even being blind, he would clearly describe what Srinathji was wearing that day. What color vastram he was wearing, what were the flowers that were embellished in that vastram, what kind of ornaments he would sing in his kirtan automatically without having his physical eyesight. Once a person doubted his bhakti, and he went and changed the order. He went and told the Pandal, change the alankaram today, do the different color vastram. To his surprise, our Surdas sang exactly the changed vastram, the description. And what ended up happening was the one who had done the apachara, he lost his eyesight. Then Surdas cried for his sake and got back he pleaded to our Srinathji for his eyesight. He asked for Kshamapana and got back his eyesight. And Mari Suradasa had written 125,000, so many kirtans on Bhagavan, and such a great Baso mere nainan mein ye jodi Sundar Shyamal Kamal Dad Lochan Sang Vrishabhanu Kishori. May this divine couple always be in my eyes, maybe in my eyesight all the while, but he sings beautifully. So, see, some numerous kirtans, let us hold us. There is another Bhakta called Krishnadas, which most of us know about. Krishnadas was, he was deployed in the anchor name of Srinivasa, in taking care of the office matters for Srinivasa, and in taking care of the temple, ensuring that the best of the best is what Srinathji got. That is the criteria that Krishnadas got. And Krishnadas, the background story is that Krishnadas, was the son of a minister of the king. He was the son of the minister of the king. And this minister was used to swindle a lot of stuff, that came into the kingdom. This minister had a portion of that being cut over to him, so he swindled a lot. And his son, our Krishnadas, was a very honest person. He went complaining to the king and said, my dad is actually stealing a lot from the kingdom. The king was very angry, but he couldn't punish the minister because he had other favors from him. So he kind of let him go, but the father wouldn't punish the son. The father said, how dare you go against me? How dare you talk against me? Get out of this home. So Krishnadasa was thrown out of his house. He was on the streets. And he had this bhakti bhava, he had such a great bhakti bhava, as well as the honesty that he had. He had Vallabhacharya identified him and put him in service of Srinathji. And all of us know the story of Ranjani, isn't it? Ranjani Namaveshya Stri Manimadai Mukhambuja Ragatala Visheshajna Natyalila Visharada. Once our Krishnadas was going to Mathura to get some stuff for the temple, and then he heard this beautiful song emanating from somewhere, and this song was being sung by this courtesan called Ranjani. She was singing for a few of these very wealthy people who would give her money. She was singing and dancing for them. Tasyaha Sankirtanam Shrutva Krishnadaso Mahamanaha Praviveshagriham Tasyaha Sadacharayuto Pisaha. He thought the only thing he had in mind was his Guru Vallabhacharya had ordered that whatever you see is the best, you have to offer it to Srinathji. That was his only order. So immediately our Krishnadas thought, this is the best ever music I have heard. And then he went and saw she was dancing so gracefully, best ever dance he has ever seen. Immediately what he thought, what his Guru's orders were, that only came to his mind is, he said, I have to offer this to Srinathji. So he immediately went to Ranjani and said, Ranjani, can you come and dance in front of our master? Can you come and sing and dance in front of our master? Evamastu mahabuddhe drashtumichamitam priyam dhaniko va sundaro va yuva va bhupatistava. She asks Dhanikova, is your master wealthy enough? No, usually I don't come beyond this place. You have to bring your master here and have a dance for him. But if you want me to come over to your master's place and dance, then is he wealthy enough? Because I come all the way and he's not paying me enough. Is that okay? And our Krishnadasa says, Katakshavesham yaseva yashate dhanata swayam tasmat paratara kova dhanikosti mahitare. He is the wealthiest person. Even Mahavishnu Devi is at his feet. Even Kubera is at his feet. He is the wealthiest person. Don't worry. How about his beauty? Is he young? Is he beauty handsome to look at? I don't want to be dancing in front of a very gory person or even an old person for that matter. Yuva. And our Krishnadasa says he's always sweet 16. He's always the young person. He's the most sakshat manmata. Kandarpadarpaha harati yat padanaka charuta Tasma parataro loke sundaro nasti sundari. Hey Sundari, there is no other beautiful, more handsome person than my master. So don't worry about it. Then he asks, is he a Rasika? He is the Rasika, greatest of all Rasikas, don't worry. Then Rajini starts, and the separate palanquin is arranged for her, and she is taken to our Srinathji's Haveli. And Krishnadasa offers Ranjini to Srinathji. You know, that the evening bhog is going to be ready. And the bhog is done, and the screens are opened up. And when Ranjini sees there is no human being there is actually Srinathji standing there. The beauty of Srinathji is completely mesmerizing to Ranjini. She looks at Srinathji, is this your master? At that point she starts dancing. She says, Krishnadasa himself can sing. He sings, Tvameva kutuhala keli Krishna ahameva kolahala dasi. He starts beautifully singing. Ranjini starts dancing to the song. At the end of the song, Ranjini cries out. She cries out to Bhagavan Nas, enough of this word. Enough of this word. Srinatha Sridamanatha Swamin Rasika Shekhara Prana Vallabha Govinda Pashyamam Tava Kinkarim Saundaryam Yauvanam Chaiva Rasikyam Natya Kaushalam Pranat Vacha Sharirancha Sarvam Swikurume Prabho Tavasmi Dasi Gopala Drashtumichami Netaram Avalokaya Karunyat Avalam Sharanagatam. Look at me. Enough of all this life for me. Please take me under your fold. Rajini cries out her heart out, and at that point, she gives up her life, she sheds her mortal coil, and merges with Bhagavan, merges with Srinathji. Look at her normal life that was, and look at how she met her Bhagavan, how she merged with Bhagavan. Not in years, not after years, not after months, even months. Uru Kshanamata, Kshana Samyena Sadhu Shuna, that is what it is. With an instant sangha of sadhu like Krishnadasa, she attained Bhagavan. And Krishnadas' kirtans are also very beautiful. Paramakripalu Srinandanandana Karikripa Moha Apune Janike Mere Sab Abrad Nibhare Sri Vallabh Ki Kani Mani Kai. Because when it is Kanikarya, there is a lot of aparadha, there is a lot of mistakes that is possible. So his Kirtan Seva was to ask for aparadha kshama, and he says, please forgive all my sins, all the mistakes that I have done in the Kanikarya. Why? Because for the grace of Sri Vallabha. Sri Vallabha ki kani mani kai. That was Krishnadasa. Kumbharadasa was another devotee who was actually a farmer. He was an agriculturist. He used to do his agriculture and all. And then he used to go and do Krishna Kirtan when it was time. He used to do Krishna Kirtan and he would come back and do his continue with his farming and all that. He was, he had at home, he used to do his Anushtanas. One morning, the king was, Raja Mansingh was the king. And he was so attracted by Kumbharadas's Kirtans, one day he came to his Kumbharadas's home, his own hut, to have darshan of Kumbharadasa. And Kumbharadasa was at that time he had his Shinton bath. And so he was sitting, he wanted to do his Anushtanas. So he called his granddaughter. Agaccha Shigram Kalyani Mukuram Pidamanaya Anushtanasya Khaleyam Khaloyam Atikranta Sulakshane. Oh Kalyani, oh my dear granddaughter, please bring my asana, my seat. My asana and the mirror so that I can do my yogi channel. Can you bring it? The granddaughter comes and says, Evam Shri Kumbhadasasya Vashashutva Sa Abravit Khatva Pidamachakraschid Darpanaha Papaviha. The granddaughter comes and says, Tata, a goat came and ate your asana and drank your mirror. Ate your asana and drank your mirror. Apparently asana was darbhasana, grass. Goat came and ate the darbhasana, and mirror was nothing but water. So goat came and ate your asana and drank the water. Raja Mansingh did not understand. He asked the ministers. Ministers explained, is that such a poverty is he living in? And only he immediately came and said, I get the most chair, the way on which you can do your anushtanas, you get to a nice gem-studded mirror. And the way went up. And the way went up. One boat comes tomorrow, I can get a new asana and all. I'll have to take so much pains to take care of all this. This is not something that I want. Please. No, Amrita. Then I'll get you at least a nice house. This is enough for me. I'm able to do all my Krishna Kainkariam in this house. This is enough for me. This hut is enough. Maybe I can rename this entire place called Kumbhadaspuram Home to Kamak. How? This all belongs to Srinaji. How can you name this city as Kumbhadaspuram? Amrita. Raja Masin admired the beauty of his bhakti, and his humility and simplicity. Avara kirtanamu avlo ಆಶ್ಚರ್ಯமான ಕೀರ್ತನೆ. रसिक नीरस में रहत गढ़ी कनक बेली वृष बानु नंदिनी श्याम तमाल चढ़ी रसिक नीरस में गढ़ी. Beautifully he sings Radha and Krishna. Seated in an asana. विहरत श्री गिरिधर लाल संग कोण पाठ पढ़ी रसिक निरस में रहत गधी. And they both are talking, other than that, he does that in Kirtan. Kumardas also is a great Mahatma. His son also is a great Mahatma. Chaturbhuj Das is one of the Dasas. Now, Paramananda Das is another one of the four devotees, the disciples of Vallabhacharya. Paramananda Das, he used to live on the banks of Prayaga, Deva Prayaga. He used to live, and every day he used to give pravachanam, Bhagavad pravachanam. He used to do. He was such a learned person. He used to do pravachanam, and for his pravachana, an old man used to come every day and listen to his pravachanam. And whenever Paramananda Das used to chant, recite Bhagavatam and speak on Krishna Leela, there was a little boy he saw in his old man's lap. And this little boy would happily be playing. And he would be disturbing his Katha, this particular Katha, this old man. And Katha, he would be on his lap. And he would be listening to the Katha. And our Paramananda Das would see that as he was giving pravachan, he would see that this old man is sitting there, there's a little boy, and that little boy had a mind feeling and all that. He was indeed Krishna, who was sitting on his lap and listening. Is this the real little boy that is sitting in this old man's lap? Or am I having an illusion here? He didn't understand. One day he finished his Katha early and said, old man, you come here. When I'm doing Katha, I can see there is a little kid that is sitting on your lap. Oh, you can also see that little kid. Sure, I thought no one will see it. Oh, he says, our little Krishna, I take care of him all the time. I bath him, I feed him, and he is with me all the time. I will bring him to the Katha. Whatever you are saying is still not I try to keep him silent, but he always disturbs me. It's okay. What are you doing? I do service there in India. I do service at Vallabhacharya's house. Vallabhacharya. And he's a servant at Vallabhacharya's house, this old man. And to servant, Lord Krishna comes and prays, he wants to come and have darshan of Vallabhacharya. Because he himself has that, he has done Bhagavatam and all of that, and he does. Amazing bhavam he had. And so he came. When he came, Vallabhacharya was in Gokulam, in Srinaji's temple, and there was the Alankar was going on, and Srinaji was inside, and they said, Paramananda Das has come, he has come to have your darshan. Vallabhacharya wanted to listen to his kirtan, and said, sing a kirtan. Radhe beti tilak samvarati mringarayani kusumayudha karadhari नंद सुवन को रूप विचारती राधे बैठी तिलक संवारती दर्पण हाथ सिंगार बनावती वासर सुख समतारती राधे बैठी तिलक संवारती. He started singing beautifully on how Radhe decorates or Lord Krishna decorates Lord Radha Devi. அழகா எப்படி கண்ணாடி காமிக்கிற எப்படி திலகம் விட்டு விடுறான். The moment Vallabhacharya listened to this kirtan, அப்படியே மூச்சாயிட்டார். He fell off. Not 4 days. He was in that transcendental bliss. அதுக்கப்புறம் எழுதான் he saw இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு பாக்கியம் for our Srinathji, this Kankaya needs to go for Srinathji. He inducted Paramananda Das also into Srinathji's Kankaya. Every 4 dasas, Krishna Dasa, Kundan Dasa, Surya Dasa, Paramananda Dasa, Nal Dasa. They மாதிரி another 4 dasas of Vittalanatha also were Sishyas. Nandadasa was in the bhava of Nanda Baba himself. Nanda Baba உடைய பாவத்திலேயே இருந்தார். Beauty is every morning he would go to Govindakundam in Vrindavana and he would call out for Krishna. He would say, Srinivasa, come, let's brush our teeth. Because he's the dad, right? Appa Bhav, Nanda Baba உடைய பாவம். He would call out for Srinivasa, and Srinivasa would come in the morning with all this, and he would say, Appa, and he would do for Nanda Das would do the brushing of teeth for Srinath. அதுவும் அப்படின்னா with kirtan. All of it with kirtan. அதுக்கு இந்த மாதிரி சுஸ்வரமா he would sing. So, and Tansen, Akbar Tansen or kind of it. Tansen happened to hear this and went and told Akbar that Nanda Das sings very well. So Akbar and Tansen had come in disguise. They had come to go with the Govindakundam to wait and see how his kirtans. And Nanda Das has just started to sing. To start to sing, he starts doing an alapa in Bhairavi Raga. Bhairavi alapa பண்ணும்போது Akbar, who was hiding there, he couldn't control himself. The moment he said that, our Nanda Das turned around. How is it? Then Akbar came out and said, sorry, I couldn't control myself at the Bhairavi that you are singing. So I started enjoying it. Govindakundam is actually a lake. He went, took water here and said, build a Prathinya on Srinathji's name, no more Bhairavi. No more Bhairavi. He sings so well, no more Bhairavi. He says, pardon, the Bhairavi that I sang, if that can melt even a king's heart, look at my little Krishna, how would have melted his heart? In Krishna, I don't want to give him all that pain. You are a stone, will you not melt? Look at the bhava of Nanda Das. He feels, and he said, I will not sing Bhairavi. That was his bhava. Nanda Das. Govinda Dasa was another Bhakta who had Sakhya Bhava. We have heard, many of us have heard the story, where he would always play with, he would be a friend to Srinathji. He would always, apparently he likes Amnichori, hide and seek. He always plays hide and seek with Srinathji. And one day he played a different game, Gollywood. He played Gollywood with Srinathji, and Srinathji lost the game. And our Govinda Dasa won the game, And then, but Srinath wouldn't agree at all. And Srinathji would come and play. In the Vivavam, he would come and play. It will be difficult for us to imagine that, but it's the truth. He would come and play with Govinda Dasa. Govinda Dasa came and Srinathji wouldn't accept defeat. Govinda Dasa won the game. Srinathji wouldn't accept defeat. So he kept running away, and Govinda Dasa had one of the goalies, in the hand. And he went and he wanted to go and hit Srinathji. Hey, you only lost. Srinathji took a run, he started running, he went into the temple. Govinda Dasa took that goli and he was going to follow Srinathji into the temple. Stop, again. Not like they knew that he was one of the Ashtadasas, this Bhava, but they couldn't afford a hurt on Srinathji in that bhava. Otherwise, they said, stop, Muralidhara. Then Vittalanatha came. Vittalanatha came and said, what happened to you? Yeah, why are you going in with this, all this anger? Our Govindadasa was not in any normal bhava. He said, Yashoda Maya, look at your son. He's cheating. Because Vittalanatha was in the bhava of Yashoda Maya. Appa Vittalanatha Purjita. My son is fine only. You are only cheating. Vittalanatha to Govindadasa. Govindadasa said, no, your son is only cheating. I want to go out. Bring him out. No. Then Vittalanatha puts him, asks him to stay outside. And Vittalanatha goes inside and tries to pacify Srinathji. Srinathji says, Srinathji, why are you like this? Why are you playing with these bad guys like Govindadasa? Don't play with all these bad guys. Our Srinathji says, Illa mana, Govindadasa is a good person. I only cheated. He is a good person only. Then he brings in Govindadasa and has him play. The Madri, Rasama, he becomes a friend and he sings. Andamadri will keep them Govindadasa. Adhe Madri, Swamiji, he was a great, he was a rich person who had a lot of head weight and all. And with Vittalanatha's grace, he became Bhakta and he started doing Kankariya for Srinathji. Likewise, Kumbhadasa's son, as I said, Chaturbhujadasa, was another Bhakta who do the Shaina Harati for Srinathji all the time. But he wouldn't come out of Vrindavana at all. One day, Srinathji was taken outside of Vrindavana to Mathura for some kind of a saptaha. Our Chaturbhujadas wouldn't come out of Vrindavana, but he was crying the whole night that he couldn't do Dolotsavam. He couldn't do the Shaina Harati for Srinathji. At the path of Srinathji said, I want to go back right. Day one himself, he said, I want to go back to Vrindavan. I want to get my Dolotsavam, my Shaina Harati from Chaturbhujadas. Even today, even though Bhagavan is in Namadwaar, every night he goes to Vrindavan for his Shaina Harati. Allah Bhava Manikyu. Thanks to Chaturbhujadas. Namadri, all these Bhagavatas had, showered their love on Srinathji and Srinathji showers it back. Ella Indana and the Vallabhacharya, Sri Vallabhacharya, being a strong foundation, who was the greatest among Krishna Bhaktas that showed us the path of Bhagavad Dharma through Bhagavad, through Subodhini Bhagavad. Apadipatta Vallabhacharya, today we could do a little bit of a smaranam of his charitram of the Bhaktas, the charitram of his Bhaktas. With gratitude to Bhagavan and Gurunatha for giving us this opportunity and more and prayers for more and more satsang, we will conclude today. Tomorrow we will do a little bit of Venkatachala Mahatmyam and conclude with Padmavati Kalyanam as we do the Radha Kalyanam. In Bhagavatoடைய Purti of our Bhakta Vijayam series. Tomorrow Padmavati herself becomes the Bhakta and we will do the Padmavati Kalyanam. Sadguru Maharaj ki Jai. Bhagavata Priyaya Bhavadukkarnaya Pandava Vamsha Poshakaya Muralidhara Bhakta Kamita Putitaya Srimate Perita Varadaya Jaya Mangalam Nitya Shubha Mangalam Savitri Raja Gopala Bharaya Sharadindu Koti Samashitalaya Sakshat Parabrahma Purna Swarupaya Muralidharaya Mama Guruvaraya Jaya Mangalam Nitya Shubha Mangalam Kayena Vacha Sindrirva Buddhatmanava Prakti Subhava Karomi Sakalam Parasmi Narayana Yiti Samarpayami Gopika Jeevan Smaranam Sadgurunatha Maharaj ki Jai.